So I'm going to talk about my guitars in this one. My electric guitars. I'm not going to go through my acoustics because I don't really use them very much. It's like whatever. They're alright. So this one, this is my first guitar that I ever bought. I'm actually going to show you the new guitar that I just bought. I just got yesterday. And it's actually the first new guitar that I've bought in like 6 years. So I'm going to show you that last. It's going to be a little surprise, unless you've already seen it, but yeah. And this is the BC Rich Warlock that you probably, well, you might have seen in my videos. And the string just broke, which is cool. The high E string just broke last night, and I just never really used this guitar that much, so I didn't bother restringing it. Yeah, I was just like, it was standing up in the rack thingy, and then I think I put another guitar next to it, and it accidentally hit this part, and it just snapped right away. So I was like, alright, cool. This is the first guitar I ever bought, and I was like 15 when I bought it, and literally the only criteria that I ever had at the time was like, I just want to find the coolest looking guitar ever that I could find, and this was the coolest one that I could find. I just thought this was so freaking cool. It was from a site called zsounds.com. I still remember. It's like, it's just so badass. And I guess if you want to go into like slight review type thing or whatever, overall I think it's decent. I think it's okay. It was like $150. You know, you kind of get what you pay for a lot of the time. One thing I like about it is that it is very light. I really like that a whole lot. So it doesn't bother my back or anything like that if I'm standing for a long time. One downside that I don't really like, and apparently this is really common for a lot of BC Rich guitars, is that the I guess the balance, I forget what, I think there's a certain word for it, but there's a balance of the guitar. If you remember the word, or if you know the word, then let me know. It's just like how the guitar hangs when you're holding it. So for some reason, apparently with BC Rich guitars, the balance is kind of off a lot of the time, including with this one. So when you're holding it and you're playing like live, usually it should sit like this if the balance is right. But for some reason, BC Rich guitars are like top heavy a lot of the time. So if you stand, it'll start to kind of sag down like this, which is kind of annoying if you're playing standing up, if you're playing live or something like that. So what I ended up doing, because I was playing live with this for a while, see these magnets? I literally got these magnets. I forget what they're called, but I think they're supposed to be put on car tires or something. And there's little magnets, and you just stick on the guitar or whatever you want to put it on, and it'll kind of weigh it down. So you can't really see the inside of this, but if I took this off, the entire inside of this like compartment is filled with these magnets. So now when I stand with it, the balance is better. So it's this little practical thing I just did. And so it's not quite where I want it to be, but it's definitely better. It's more level now when I stand with it. So there's a little tip if you're having some problems with that sagging issue, whatever it's called. Again, if you know the word for that, then tell me in the comments, because I'd be curious. I forget. Yeah, so that's BC Rich. So this is the guitar that I've used the most. And this is a Schecter Damien. It's called Diamond Series. And this is the guitar that you've probably seen if you've been following me. This is the one that I mostly use. This was my favorite for a while, and I really like it. I mean, Schecter is a freaking great company. I just feel like they make really solid, really good guitars, good quality guitars. I like the bat inlays. They're cool. I just like how it looks. I love black, obviously, if you couldn't tell. I think it looks good on pretty much everything. Well, I was like 16 or 17 when I first got this, and I just really wanted a 7-string at the time for different reasons. I really wanted to be able to play just all the songs that I couldn't play on a 6-string, like certain Dream Theater songs and stuff like that. I also really like that it's light. It's made of basswood. That one's made of alder, I believe. It actually came with AMG pickups, which I realized I did not really like. They were passive EMGs, and I just didn't think the tone was that great. It was kind of like a dull tone, to be honest, at least in my opinion. Maybe the actives are better or something, but that's just how I felt. So I got these ones called Guitarmery pickups, and I got them installed on this one a couple years ago, and suddenly the clean tone was just so much better and like clear, and the rhythm and the lead tone are so much more, I would say, aggressive now, which is really nice because before they were dull. Now it's like they're very, very clear, and I really like that a lot. And they're a lot more sensitive too, I would say. Oh, also I got this because of Jeff Loomis, because back then I was just getting into like Nevermore, and I was not just getting into it, I was really into Nevermore, I should say. And I freaking love Jeff Loomis, and he played a Schecter. Alright, so this one you probably have never seen before, and has a lot of dust on it. There's all these dust particles flying everywhere. You probably can't see it, but yeah, there's a reason for that. It's because I never use it. There's so much dust on it. It just kind of sits there on the stand forever. I used to use this a lot, but this is interesting. So this came with a whammy bar. I went through a little phase where I was interested in whammy bars, and so I wanted a guitar with a whammy bar. And this is an Ibanez. What is it called? This is an Ibanez RG, and with a bunch of letters and stuff. It's like RG470 or 0 whatever FM. And here comes my doggy. My doggy wants to join in the video. Come on, boy. Coming up the steps. Come here, boy. Here's my boy. Yeah, he wants to join. So I really like this guitar overall. It plays really nicely. It feels comfortable. I actually liked it a lot. I like the 5-position switch thingy for the tone. Really, the only thing that I didn't like was the whammy bar, because I was just having so many problems with the whammy bar situation, and just, I don't know, I'm really just not very mechanically inclined, I guess, so that's probably part of it. But the guy said that apparently this was like Ibanez's take on a Floyd Rose, but it just wasn't the best quality or something like that. So I was just having so many problems, and I had to keep taking it to the shop. And the guy would try to fix it, and it would be fine for a little bit, then something would mess up again, and I was just like, fuck it. I don't want to do this anymore. Alright, so this is the grand finale, I guess. I just got this guitar yesterday. This is the first guitar I've gotten in 6 years. That was actually the last one I got. That was back in 2015. So now it's 2021. So I spent a long time trying to figure out like the specs and that kind of stuff, and what I really wanted in a guitar. And I finally figured out that I really wanted this one. This is actually a Solar. This is a Solar guitar. Look at that thing. It looks so freaking cool. This is like the Batmobile for guitars. That's what I feel like. It just looks so fucking awesome. Look at those, whatever it's called, concave little things going on. One thing I want to say about the physical thing is that like everyone has their own style, and I feel like some people like when a guitar looks really cool, like myself, and I'm not embarrassed to admit that at all. I think it's a part of the equation. For some people, I think that, they can play whatever, it doesn't really matter, I guess, how it looks. But for me, it's a part of it. It's a part of the equation. It makes me excited to play it. It's like when you're eating something, you're eating like a really good dessert. You don't want it to look like a piece of shit or something like that. You don't want it to look like poop. You want it to look good because we eat with our eyes first. It has the Solar logo right here, and other than that, it doesn't have fret inlays, which I was a little concerned about at first. But it actually has the markers, the dotted marker thingies. So when you're playing, you still have those, which is great. I was actually wondering, I was like, is that going to be an issue? Because I can't see the inlays, and I was thinking like if I don't like it, I could just send it back. But I've been playing it, and I have no issues at all. And I think that at this point, it's like you've been playing for so long, you just kind of get a feeling for where you're at. And then I guess when I need to really figure out where I am, I guess I can have these, the fret markers are really helpful, but I just haven't even felt like I needed to do that at this point. I'm just playing it and it's fine. And for those who don't know, it's a kind of bridge. It's called the Evertune Bridge. And theoretically, it'll never go out of tune if you do it correctly. To be completely honest, when I first got it, which was yesterday, and I was trying to set this whole thing up, it was kind of a pain in the ass, to be completely honest. It was kind of frustrating just because I'm not used to it. And also, like I said before, it's like I'm not the most mechanically inclined person. I feel like I'm like 98% there with this. I feel like I pretty much understand how it works now. And I'm gonna put on a rhythm tone first, One thing that I realized is that I really like the rhythm tone on this guitar. I just think it sounds really, really cool. This is the rhythm, and this is through my Axe FX, and the amp is called an Uberschall, I think, something like that. Yeah, I really like the rhythm, the rhythm tone. It sounds freaking great. All right, I'm gonna put on a lead tone, and I'm like not warmed up at all, so it's probably gonna sound like shit, but it's all right. Yeah, so I really like the lead tone as well. Alright, I'm gonna put on the like a clean tone so you can hear that. Yeah, it's just like really comfortable to play. I'm really liking it. I like how there's the 5 switch thingy, so you have more tonal options for the pickups. I guess the only thing that's kind of a frustration a little bit has been the Evertune, but like I said, this is day 2, and this is my first time using an Evertune, so it's not even about the guitar. It's just that I need to figure out how to do this a little better, and like I said, I'm like 98% there, so I'm almost there. Honestly, the rhythm tone, like, I love the lead tone as well, but the rhythm tone is probably my favorite rhythm tone that I've tried on a guitar. It just sounds so freaking badass. I'm really loving it. Yeah, so last week I actually mentioned that I was really excited for the next video that I was going to be putting out, but that actually got delayed. So I figured that I wanted to do this in the meantime so you can get like a sense of my guitars as well as this new one. I actually post content every Monday, and so if you're interested in more stuff like this, I actually don't usually post videos like this. I usually post videos that are more oriented around my songs and all that. But if you want more stuff like that, then definitely subscribe. Also, I have a Spotify you can check out, and the link in the description. And of course, I want to thank all my patrons on Patreon. You guys are freaking amazing. And also, a side note, I started a new channel, and it's called Chris Snyder Meditation. So, for those of you in my community that are interested in meditation, which I'm not even sure how many there are, I'd be curious to find out. But if you are interested in meditation or like just like relaxing music, I'm going to be posting a lot of that now. So I actually started meditating like 14 years ago, and I've been meditating every day for the past 7 years. So it's actually a really big part of my life. So I started this new channel. So for those of you who are interested in meditation, or if you just want relaxing, sort of stress relieving music, I'm going to be doing that. I just posted my first video. It's like this very ambient, relaxing, clean, kind of atmospheric track. So if you want to check that out, if you're interested, then the link's in the description for that as well. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.